AI. Here we go again.
AI.
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 But it's not hardware that has white-collar workers concerned. It's rapidly advancing software, since artificial intelligence is doing a lot more than finishing emails.
Yeah, but it can't do this. Smash the like button for that cardistry because that will never be replaced by AI. Unfortunately, my cardistry is not very valuable, so it doesn't really matter in the end. And that's also because ChatGPT took the verbal IQ test, which measured 155, which is higher than 99.9% of people that took the same part of the test. And a new study showed that AI will affect over 80% of the US workforce. In fact, the World Economic Forum, which is the meeting of some of the world's most powerful people, aka the closest thing to real-world Illuminatis, estimates that 85 million jobs will be affected by this shift, and that roughly 25% of all jobs will be replaced by artificial intelligence, and that's just in the next 5 years. And some people worry that AI could help displace far more jobs than it will help create.
Perhaps the biggest nightmare is the looming new industrial revolution.
The erosion of the middle class, already one of America's most serious problems, could get much worse with AI if we ignore it.
And what's crazy about all this is that I remember a time not that long ago when I thought artificial intelligence and robots will eventually replace us sometime in the future, but with things like manual labor and delivery and driving and manufacturing and things like that. But no, it is so much more than that.
In the last few years, artificial intelligence has made massive leaps in capability and ease of use. The rise of tools like ChatGPT and Midjourney have created a way for anyone to create essays, art, and other types of content without needing the individual skill and training normally associated with these tasks.
So far, it's already replacing creative jobs thanks to the tools it has to create things like art with Midjourney and analytics and write essays with ChatGPT and so much more, and these are jobs I never thought would be so easily replaced. At some point in the near future, you're gonna be watching a YouTube video of someone who you didn't even know doesn't actually exist in real life because they'll be 100% AI generated. And that is already happening. I'm AI generated, you didn't even know. I am Russian, living somewhere in world making passive income. Just kidding, but someone else will own the trademark to that person and all of their sources of revenue, which is both amazing and terrifying at the same time because the progress is happening extremely fast.
For myself, as both an economist as an engineer, I'm absolutely shocked at the rate at which some of these generative content mechanisms are improving.
In fact, that man was AI generated. Now that's not true, but tell me he doesn't look like someone typed in, create an economist who looks like the Monopoly Man. Boom, there you go. But when you combine all that with actual robots already building things, robots in the fast food industry which are replacing low-wage workers and self-driving cars and all of which is happening today, and the question becomes, which jobs will be around and which ones will go away? Vsauce. I wish Michael was here to explain things. A lot is happening, so let's get into it. Hi, my name is Andrei Jikh. Hope you're doing well. Come for the finance and stay for the AI fun facts. Let me explain to you how AI works using this deck of cards. So think of this deck of cards like the entire internet that's right here just spinning on my finger. Now, this is the internet, which is made up of individual playing cards. Each playing card is user-generated content that makes up the entire internet. And all AI is effectively doing is reshuffling what's already out there to make its own new deck order that no one's ever seen before. But doing this is so effective that the possibilities are endless. Now, just to blow your mind, if someone had a superpower where they could take a deck of cards and they could shuffle every single second and create a new deck order that's never been seen before, it would take longer than the age of the universe to discover every possible new deck order. In fact, there are more possibilities than there are individual atoms in the universe. It would take aeons. That's called the 52 factorial. 52 times 51 times 50 times 49 all the way to 1 equals the total possibilities. So the next time you take a deck of cards and you shuffle it, try to appreciate the fact that you are probably creating a new deck order that the universe has never seen before. The point is, those are the possibilities with just 52 unique objects. But what if now we took the entire internet, where there are billions, if not trillions, of unique objects that we have been creating since the dawn of time, from pictures and stories, words, art, science, languages. So how many possibilities are there really? Effectively an infinite amount, and that's exactly how AI generates its content. So the question becomes, what can AI realistically do today? This is about to blow your mind because AI is about to disrupt almost every single industry we know of.
Generative AI can auto-complete your sentences, write feature-length films, or organize your calendar. And tools using it, like ChatGPT, are taking on an increasing role in white-collar work. They can create first drafts of documents, presentations, images, video, and product designs. Currently, 25% of work tasks could be automated by AI in the US, according to Goldman Sachs research.
So already, AI can assist and help complete up to 25% of the work that's already out there, and it doesn't stop there. Take, for example, marketing and advertising, which is one of the biggest industries out there that every single company in the world participates in to some degree. According to a Deloitte's annual CMO survey, 13.6% of a company's budget is spent on advertising. And in 2024, corporations in the US alone are expected to spend over $320 billion on media advertising, of which over 70% will be in digital form, which is the exact advertising that AI tools will be generating.
Generative AI helped make this ad. And this one too. The company advertised here said creating the image for this AI-generated ad cost about 10 times less than traditional methods.
So we already know that AI can create these pictures beyond just making memes of cats wearing glasses, but it's being used to create valuable images that are being used in high-profile advertising campaigns today. And this will affect a division within every single company in the world. But it goes beyond just marketing and advertising. This technology is also being used in banking.
Alphabet is now using AI to run anti-money laundering surveillance programs at banks like HSBC, and says it's cutting out human error.
Now, arguably the most important thing to pay attention to right now is WGA, the Writers Guild Association, because right now it is the first domino that's directly in the line of sight of the AI revolution. Already, over 11,000 writers and creatives have went on strike.
AI's role in television and film production is a key point of negotiations between the Writers Guild of America and the studios.
We could deduce that that plan was probably one writer in a room with one or two machines creating an entire show.
Now, despite the infinite amount of combinations that AI can generate, it's not always perfect, and sometimes it creates a derivative of work that's a little too close to the original.
These new AI tools are facing legal pressure from lawsuits, and legislators are also voicing their concern about what AI could mean for the economy. Leaders in the tech sector have even advocated for a so-called AI pause to slow down the emerging technologies that could potentially cause wide-scale disruption to multiple industries.
So the ultimate question then becomes, will AI replace our jobs? And the answer is yes and no. It depends. Overall, here are the jobs and industries that are the most at risk.
Some of the most at-risk jobs, according to a report by Goldman Sachs, are office administration, legal and business and financial operations.
Any jobs where you find yourself doing boring and repetitive tasks over and over again are the ones that are most at risk of being replaced by AI if they haven't been already. Now, I also don't want to scare anyone, but even if you feel safe that you won't be replaced, you could still technically lose your job thanks to AI. Not because it will start doing your job, but because the company you work for could instead prioritize productivity. Normally, that would mean hiring on more people. But in this case, it would mean investing into artificial intelligence tools that increase that productivity. And where they get the money to do that is by shrinking their workforce.
Dropbox laid off 16% of its workforce in April, but not to replace workers. Like IBM, it said it wanted to invest more in AI, which meant cutting elsewhere.
So we see demand growing for these products a lot faster than we could have anticipated. And I think you could have seen the technology coming, but just the way that the interest went vertical is something that's way ahead of schedule from our expectations.
But here's the silver lining in all of this, because AI cannot fully function without people. The more people it replaces, the more inaccurate and wrong it becomes over time. For example, once ChatGPT is connected to the internet, it'll be able to tell us everything from the news to the weather to the economy, effectively getting rid of the need to have any job that involves collecting data, which so many jobs do. But if you go to the extreme end of it and you get rid of everyone, then that's like taking a deck of cards and then throwing it away, and now you're left with nothing to shuffle. And that leads to an AI phenomena called hallucinations. This is where tools like ChatGPT just start to make stuff up because they don't have anything real to base their information on, because they got rid of the people creating it in the first place.
Problems like incorrect or entirely made-up citations, so-called hallucinations by AI, and other problems could put businesses that deploy this new tech in potential hot water, negating the advantage they hope to enjoy.
This is why the people at OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT, believe that it has the possibility of creating far more jobs than it potentially takes away. Now, I would personally argue that losing jobs to AI is not the biggest problem. This is the stuff that economists have already predicted in the future. That data is already baked in. We're expecting that. The real threat to society is how we'll perceive reality.
Now that AI-enabled forms of manipulation are so accessible and the products that they produce are so convincing, the burden of determining what is factual and what is not really falls on the individual at this point.
Misinformation in the use of AI tools to create and respond to newsworthy events will be a new arena of concern.
We need to be diligent when we consume our content on the internet, because even when we consume a piece of media that, we know to be false, but it represents something that perhaps we fear, or perhaps we desire, or perhaps a reality that isn't in fact our own, that can elicit an emotional reaction. We're emotional creatures.
Yeah, we're too late, because that's already happening right now.
She's the hottest influencer on social media, with guys around the world sending her marriage proposals. But she's not a real person. She's an AI creation.
Catfished once again. So now that the Pandora's box has been opened, it's up to us to teach these tools of artificial intelligence ethics and the difference between good and evil. But the problem is, these tools are so democratized, and that means anyone can use them to create fake news, fake information, fake data, fake evidence, fake people, fake anything. And that has huge implications on society, because it's already too late. Apparently, we've already crossed the 3 boundaries that we were never meant to cross.
We always had 3 boundaries, if you want, for AI. We said, don't put them on the open internet until you solve the control problem. Don't teach them to code, because that makes them self-developing. And don't have other AIs prompting them, other agents working with them. And we've crossed all 3 lines.
But negatives aside, AI can be used to do a lot of good in this world as well. Last year, for example, AI was able to map every single known protein, about 200 million of them, which solved one of biology's biggest mysteries, which will eventually lead to cures for things we don't have cures for. I've even made a couple personal videos on how to use these tools to invest with them and help you out with finances. And a lot of those videos are just for entertainment, but the real purpose of all of them is to remind us that these tools are here to stay and they're not going anywhere. And the people most at risk of losing anything are the people that choose to ignore them. So don't ignore them, and use them in your everyday professional and creative lives to become more effective. And as always, have a wonderful rest of your day. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to grab your free stocks, links are down below, then go track them automatically with the spreadsheet link down below in my Patreon. Love you, thank you so much for watching this video. I'd love to see you back here on Monday, Friday, sometimes Wednesday. See you soon, bye-bye.